In this video, I'm going to give you 5 simple steps that could help you achieve a high capability and high level of anything within 30 days. So on day 27, I found out that I have an extremely high level ability to... So you may know the Max you see today. Confident, happy, energetic, social. Don't see who I was before because I never used to post that. But it was never always like this. If I'm honest, I never had the mindset that I could achieve anything that I set my mind to, whereas now I really do have that mindset. So let me take you back on a journey. Back to the old Max, who I once was. Before all of the drugs, the partying, the violence, and all that kind of stuff, I used to race motorbikes. I used to go on my BMX and go dirt jumping with all my friends, go to skate parks, and I used to have so much fun. And then life happens. You lose people. I literally, in front of me, watched one of my friends die on a motocross track. Traumas happened, relationships, friendships ended, and it hurts you. It really hurts you, and it can really make you want to hide from everything and everyone. And that's what I chose to do, and that's where I went down the bad route. So I had no skills, I had no abilities. In life, if you are willing, one day you will be great. So I set myself a challenge that if after 27 days, I could become an expert. Don't worry, I will show you the proof. So before we even get into the process, you need to be as prepared as possible. And this isn't necessarily a step, but this is something that you need to understand, especially when doing anything if you want to get to a high level. Preparation is key. This is what they say luck really is, when preparation meets opportunity. You could have something happen that you may be lucky, but if you're not prepared for it, your luck is never going to show off. For example, if I never had the ability to speak in front of people, when the opportunity arose itself to speak at an Adidas event, I took the opportunity. Because I said, even when he said it's halfway, my immediate reaction was halfway. Halfway. So having someone there that is just slightly above you, but you also want, it's like the 33 principle. But if I hadn't have worked on my stage fright, I wouldn't have been prepared enough for it. So you need to be as prepared as you can be. And this doesn't even need to be spending time or money on anything stupid. So in my case, all I really needed was trainers, socks. Okay, this is stupid. Socks, then trainers, a skipping rope, a pier, some water, and some Mexican motivation, baby. Cost £138,000. The pier was the whole price because all of this is free, baby. No, I didn't actually buy the pier. But also it says gullible on your ceiling. Just before this video, I snuck into your house and I wrote it on the ceiling. Don't look up, look at me. Focus. Preparation is key. All of these things I already had, minus the water. I did have to buy that from the shop because you can't drink the tap water here and I don't have a water filter.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
And this is what leads me on to step number 1. Find someone who does what you want to do to a very high standard. And where else to go other than Google, the place where you can find all information that you need. Maybe the best teachers, maybe the best videos. They don't have to be the best in the world, but they have to be good at that which you are learning. So this is my buddy O'Harry. I'm clearly really hairy. And together we're going to start a band, Oh So Hairy. We're either going to be singers or skipping partners.
Skippers.
Skippers. You fail whenever you try anything new. And this motherfucker has weak ass ankles. Weak ass ankles. It may say be kind, but they f***ing weak.
Of which we've classified wankles.
So the wankles got the best of me when I was struggling to do what I needed to do, which was skip. I had to give myself a rest because it was difficult.
I saw you just struggling to keep a rhythm, and then one day we were randomly having a conversation. He was just like popping out doubles like it was nothing, and he caught himself off guard. And He was like, wait, what? And then I stopped conversation. I was like, wait a minute, did you just
Did you just 10 double skips? I was like,
yeah, do 10 double skips? I was like, he couldn't even do one. I mean, he'll do one and that'll be it. You know what I mean? And it was like, he couldn't continue. So when he did that, I was like, wow, that just shows like if you keep on going at something, sooner or later, you will get eventually better at it. And obviously, if you don't quit, you can probably become a master within 30 days.
And like I said, find yourself someone who knows what they're doing, like this guy. Let's go. So why should you find someone who knows what they're doing? First and foremost, you can ask them questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question, unless it has no validity. For example, if I'm asking about skipping, it's valid. If I'm asking about which foot to jump first, it's valid. It may not be a completely necessary question, but it's still valid. But if you're learning a language and you're asking why windows are clear, then you have a problem, my friend. And I know just the person who can help you with that. Get in here. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, so my name is Max Hindle. I'm a hypnotherapist and I help you change your life. So what you should do is you should head over to my website, www.maxhindle.com, and book in a free session with me so that you can see where you need to be and see where you want to get to. I recommend you head over to his website now and book in a free session with him, actually. So finding a master also allows you to watch them physically. And there was a study that was done with neurons, specifically mirror neurons. A neuron is just a nerve cell that specializes in transmitting nerve impulses. I did Google it, let's face it. And a mirror neuron is a brain cell that reacts when a particular action is performed and when it is observed. So what that really means is when you watch someone do something, then your brain lights up in certain ways to effectively say that you are doing it too. The third thing of finding a master is it allows you to role model this person. So I studied NLP before I came across hypnosis, and in NLP they use a term called modeling, and they recommend you use modeling when you're trying to learn something because you're learning off someone who knows what they're doing. And no, not this kind of modeling, and no, not that kind of modeling either. Modeling just basically means copying what works until it works for you. Now put your aside for a moment, because when I was a kid, copying people was the worst thing you could do. You don't want to be a copycat, you don't want to do what they're doing. And I even remember getting the same pair of shoes as one of my friends, and I got ripped the out of because I was copying them. Them and society also make copying to be a bad thing, but it's not really. You're just getting results faster because you're learning from people that know what they're doing. And it became a subconscious program that I played out until I came across the term modeling. No, not that kind of modeling. Jesus Christ. Step number 2 is have a big enough why and find enough leverage to give yourself the reason to do what you want to do. So a little backstory, I used to work for an MLM company, but a mentor once told us, and when I say once, I don't mean once, I mean every Saturday at 6 AM I used to drive 2 hours to go to a training to hear this type of thing, that if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not your why. Because you need a big enough reason why, so that when things get difficult, you're still compelled to follow through. Because things will get difficult, that is a reality. But you just by default get stronger. Step number 3, find a way to enjoy the process. Notice how I said find, I didn't just say enjoy it. What I mean is, when it's raining, start dancing. When you trip up, play it off. Or even just make fun of yourself. Step number 4 is have a white belt mentality. Have a hunger and willingness to show up. Be a student willing to fall, but constantly coming back for more. Namaste, motherfuckers. Because anyone that starts anything is not gonna be good when they start. You literally are an amateur when you start because you've never done it before. Just like when I first learned Spanish, I couldn't hold a conversation, I couldn't understand a word, I could count to 10, that was it.
Sí, mi español ahora es muy mejor, porque es posible por básica conversación para mí, pero profundo conversación es poco difícil ahora, pero un día yo soy fluido en español.
Just like when I started with hypnosis, when I started motocross, when I started content creation, when I started in business. When I started anything, I sucked at first. I just did. When I first learned hypnosis, I literally did the rule number 1, which you shouldn't do. You have to be confident. And I unconfidently asked the person that I hypnotized, are you hypnotized? Rule number 1, out the window. Of course I've got some advantages in life, just like other people do. For example, tall people have more advantages in basketball just because of their height. People with a photographic memory just naturally do better in exams. And your mum, no I'm joking, shout out to your mum. So before we move on to step number 5, I just want to show you some videos of me now being able to skip. So on day 27, I found out that I have an extremely high level ability to jump rope. Okay, I'm no master, but you shouldn't think that you're going to be a master within 30 days, because let's take into account the 10,000 hour principle. But let me tell you this, no one, not a single person, ever became great by giving up. They didn't have it easy all the time. They would have had hurdles, they would have had things that they fell over constantly, every single time they did something, every single time they participated. Because success comes from failure after failure after failure until you reach success. Real failure is only giving up. Because doing something wrong and quote unquote failing isn't really a failure if you keep going until you succeed.
And before I always had the worst rhythm, now I'm actually starting to get a bit of rhythm because I can skip.
Because I know it shouldn't take that long. Complete it, well, at least to start it.
That's the thing, once you get started, you'll have more motivation.
Then exactly.
Here it goes. That's it, you can get that foot movement. It looks so smooth.
As you can see, we got that footwork, we got it going, we got the rhythm, baby, we really going. And it all just takes a bit of practice. Those wankles, that pain, that suffering, the inability I had to skip and how difficult it was at the start, it all paid off after the 27 days.
Even this far into the challenge and even being this amazing at skipping, I've now got wees, which are weak ass knees.
Weak ass knees.
Weak ass knees. That still happens on the journey because everything that you do, there's going to be struggles and obstacles along the way. And yeah, now I've got to work through the wees.
Step number 5, the final and most important step. How you subconsciously see yourself is what you will achieve. So not only am I giving you a 5-step process, but I'm also going to give you a process to change the way that you see yourself over the next 30 days at totally no cost. And if you've watched this video, you best listen up and take this challenge.
So what I want to offer you is to become a master of the mind within 30 days. As I said, you're not going to really be a monk, but you're going to be 30 days closer to really mastering everything in your life because it all starts here. So I want to give you access to my 30-day meditation challenge at no cost whatsoever. All you have to do is go to www.maxhindle.com/HST. So go and do that now.
Take the challenge, don't be a fool, and look out for my new videos.